Hey guys, this is Fury91, and I'm going to weigh in on the Nintendo Switch 2 pricing issue. Now, not for the actual console, but after the Nintendo Direct, some people pointed out, I saw it on multiple channels actually, like RGT85, Spawnwave, how some of the stuff announced is a bit pricey. Specifically, the Super Mario Galaxy package, the Virtual Boy, and the DLCs in general, you know, like we got Donkey Kong DLC, Pokemon, I think it's A to Z or something like that, DLC and everything. And I'm just going to give my opinion on each one at a time. Let's start with DLC actually. DLC that's been a pretty big issue ever since it started to become popular. I remember we used to talk about DLC like, you know, was it worth it? Were they literally leaving things out of the game to just add as DLC later and stuff like that? And it does seem like DLC, let me just say for the most part, I think DLC has kind of balanced out because you have free DLCs, you have DLCs you get like just being subscribed to something. And so these $20 DLCs, it's really about, to me, DLC is more of a what they give. That's depending on what they're worth, whether or not they're worth it. So whether or not the Pokemon or the Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC is worth it, that depends on how much it gives. I'm not gonna just blanket say, oh, that's too expensive for DLC because I don't know what it's giving. If it's a DLC that gives a lot, then it may be worth $20. So that's my opinion on the DLC. It's just, you know, it's not about the price of the DLC itself, it's what it gives, whether or not it's worth that price. Now, on to the Virtual Boy. What is Nintendo thinking? That is all. Now, about the whole Super Mario Galaxy package, how it's $70, let me just first say, I believe that if it was 60, I think people would be cool with that. I don't know why, it's just, the difference between 60 and 70 is so big. But whether or not it'll be worth $70, well, with Paper Mario Thousand Year Door Remake, I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I believe it was worth the $60 to buy it again, okay? Because the stuff they added to it just made the game so much better. So yeah, I, for one, definitely think that remake was worth $60. Now, whether or not Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 are worth $70, to me depends on what is new about the games. Because when you bring out these games again, if you just polish them up, no, then it's not worth $70. $50. I think $50 it should have been. Because if you just take the old games and slap a new coat of paint on them, per se, then yeah, it's not worth $70. But if they actually have added a bunch of stuff like they did with Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door, then in my opinion, it could be worth it. But like I said, if it's just better graphics and the same old games, no. $50 is the most it should be worth. So, whether or not Nintendo is getting greedy or not, I don't know. But to me, it's not just black and white, oh, this is too expensive. It isn't. It depends on what is provided. To me, it's the amount of stuff you get with something that determines its worth. So I can't specifically say Nintendo's being too expensive here, except for the Virtual Boy. Once again, what is Nintendo thinking? But what do you guys think about all these? Do you guys think some of this or all of it is too expensive? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. May God bless you all.